People often want to know what I make for my little guys for dinner, so I thought I'd just start showing you a few of the recipes that I make. So tonight we're having, well, I'll probably have it as well. We're having chicken and soba noodles with mushrooms and some baby spinach. Now look, I'm a bit of a cheat sheet, so if I can get away with doing less, I will. So tonight, for instance, I'm not ready to make my dinner, but these are mostly foods that I cooked yesterday. I had this as well, so we all share our dinner. So chopping mushrooms, I chop them finely. I've got little dogs, and they'll spit their vegetables out if you don't chop them up. But most of the time, it's pretty easy to do. So tonight, mushrooms are being just roughly chopped, but pretty small, so that they get hidden in their food. I'm not a big microwave user, but frankly, microwaves are good because you can do it fast, and I don't have to think about whether the steaming and pan frying and all that. It just makes my life easier. But what I do is one of the things I like to use a lot is stock, and that's because I have older dogs and they are a little bit, tired, let's call it, and cooking with stock is a really good way to enhance their health. So these are stocks that I've made from chicken. I cook it down, and they get some extra nutrients. So this is in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And in the meantime, I get on and make the rest of the food. So what we have tonight, I tend to measure it, mostly because I overfeed them, which is what we tend to do. So they get about 110 grams of food each. So I have 2 little poodles. So in the pot goes about a third of the meal will be a carbohydrate. So we've got about 60 grams of the soba noodles, and they're cold. They won't be forever, but 60 grams of soba noodles. Then we have some chicken. So I tend to use smaller boards to chop up the chicken so I can wash them easily. And here we have some chicken. This is poached chicken that I made yesterday, and I tend to cook whole chickens because then we can share. I eat more of the breast, and they eat more of the legs and thighs, and then we use the carcass to make a bone broth essentially. So again, I put about 80 or so grams of the chicken in there, bringing it up to that kind of about 140 grams all up. So at the moment, to just give you a perspective on it. So a bit more meat. They have a very meat-heavy breakfast, so they don't miss out on their meat. But it's nice to get lots of veggies into them at night. So that's about right. I'm getting the mushrooms, and from the mushrooms, and the mushrooms are hot. Just chopping this baby spinach up really fine. It actually cooks in the hot stock. So the mushrooms are already cooked. They're in a stock, and by just chopping this up nice and small. Again, if you've got a bigger dog, you might need to do this, but these little 4-kilo dogs, that's what they've got, a 4 and a 5. They can be so fussy that you just you'll pick out the vegetables and they'll make life very difficult. So here we go. We've got the spinach in there, and just by putting it in that hot pot, it's cooked along. I'm just going to heat that up a tiny bit because it's just to make it that little bit warmer for them. And again, this time I'm just putting a little bit of stock on there. Now this I've made stock today, so there's plenty of it about. My little boy has been a little bit, he's old now, he's 14, so it kind of helps to make it a little bit nicer for him. So just pop that into the microwave for a second. I'm just looking for something to put on top of it. I'll just put a plate on top. And that's that's just going in the microwave for about 20 seconds. That's all it needs. Back into the fridge with these, and they're for my dinner later on. Giving the mushrooms and spinach a bit of a stir, making sure they're cooked. There we go, and you can see it's kind of like, you know, I'm making it a bit more stocky than normal, but you know, the spinach is essentially cooked in it. Dinner is cooked. It looks pretty good to me. The poodles, I'm sure will enjoy that. And on top goes the spinach and mushroom mixture. As I said, I don't normally make it quite this wet, but tonight we're having a little bit of extra stock. So this is what we're looking like. It has, it's you know, a nice mixture of vegetables, a nice carbohydrate. The soba noodles are very easy to make. I just chop them a tiny bit. The guys seem to like pulling the noodles out of the mix. So here we have dinner. Now the only thing I really need to add to that is the Wellbeing Essentials, which, as we know, that really is the nutritional bridge between this, making this from a food that I'd eat, at this stage I'll eat it, to something that is incredibly nutritious and delicious for them. So because it's about, between them they're about 10 kilos, I put in a heaped spoon and then just mix that through. And the guys are coming around going, oh, yum, it's dinner time. It's dinner time. Okay. And that's essentially it. This is how I make a meal for my guys. Trust you enjoyed that. And see you later on Feeding the Fur Kids.